Well, howdy, folks. It's time for Beyond the Smoke Barbecue Talk. So grab your drink of choice and come gather around the fire as we talk all things Beyond the Smoke. Featuring pitmaster chats from all your favorite names in barbecue. We chat about competitions, pits, meats, and everything in between. From barbecue to grilling, from trimming to smoking, we got you covered. Got questions? Let us know. We're always happy to hear from you. Thanks for coming, friend. We're glad you're here. Now sit back, relax, and let's talk some barbecue. It's time to go Beyond the Smoke.
What's up, boys?
What's up,
Well,
dude?
fellas.
You know,
Another Monday.
man, this StreamYard, I guess they did updates to it, and everything's fucking weird. So,
Hmm.
let me
Mine's
see.
working. So, what's up, Chase?
What's up, Chase?
What's up, Chase?
No, it's working. They just updated the format on it or whatever.
Oh,
Whatever. First of all, shout out to everybody going through all that shit in Central Texas, man. I guess we need to bring that up before anything else. Still seeing a lot of stuff on that, and it's a sad situation, man. Sad situation for sure, but
absolutely. And like Donnie brought up backstage, big shout out to Texas Firewalkers with going down providing meals for first responders and just those that are
Right.
hungry and need something to eat.
It's awesome, man. Somebody's stepping up like that, man. That's awesome.
yeah, I've been seeing a lot of people are going out there, man. A lot of people, and apparently there's fucking lot of help out there, and it's awesome, man. That everybody turned out. So
Yep.
Mhm.
And another one I've
Absolutely.
seen too is Bill, Phil, and Wes. All their donations, I think I saw this month, they're going to donate to
nice
down there to help out too.
for the show.
Yep, all the donations
Yeah.
on the show. So if y'all donate or feel like donating, there's a good place to go. So check them out tomorrow at 8:00.
Nice, hell yeah.
Right on, man.
The chicken fried barbecue show, right?
Yep.
Chicken fried show.
Chicken fried with chicken fried.
Chicken fried with chicken fried. Yeah, Alonzo did something also, man. Everybody's pitching in, so
Mm-hmm.
It's cool to see all those guys that have a good platform do something like that.
Right.
yeah.
So, Barrett.
So Barrett, how's y'all's week?
Man, it was
4th of
good.
July. Y'all doing any cooking or no?
Oh yeah,
What, did you burn your fingers?
Nope.
got all
still
fingers.
What's up, Melody?
What's up, Melody? No, man, we just grilled and shit and popped fireworks, all that good stuff. And I got drunk on the porch, passed out during the fireworks show, and ended up in bed.
What's up, Sam?
you know the New Mexico type shit, huh?
Oh yeah.
How are they with fireworks over there? Nobody gives a shit.
Well, I live on the outskirts of Hobbs, so sit outside of the city limits, so we don't give a shit. I just do whatever out here, man.
They just give them those ones that you have to throw. That's all they get.
Right? Little poppers.
Well, Corby said Short Ribs donating the drum to
Oh, that's
down
awesome,
there
man.
too.
That is awesome. Man, you gotta love that, man, the way the community pulls together like that, man.
Yep. I saw Joey go down there too. Donated.
Yeah, Joey went down there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it's cool seeing everybody pull together and do what they can.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
We had our dogs high on CBD.
Their anxiety got a little high.
Oh, with the fireworks and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
So
did
good
mine.
seeing
Go ahead.
Some of them little calming CBD treats.
Mm.
Fucking Sam
Right.
taking all of them.
Hell no, I ain't eating that dog food.
Fucking dogs.
Oh man, and Kyle, what's up with you?
Chilling, man. Chilling. Fucking, no, we didn't do a lot this weekend, dude. We really just sat around the house, to be honest. Threw down
Yeah.
on some ribs yesterday. That's about it.
Ribs look good.
They weren't bad, dude. They weren't bad. We tried some new rub and made some sauce here at the house. Probably got a little vinegar crazy on it. It was still pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, when was the last time you lit the Lambo? The Jambo.
The
The
Lambo.
Lambo 2.
Oh,
Lambo
same
2.
yeah, the Lambo of Q, yeah.
Yeah, the Lambo 2.
Fuck, I haven't cooked anything on the Jumbo in a couple months, probably.
Yeah.
Nah, you know what? Actually, I think I did a couple weeks ago. I think I cooked something on there. I don't remember. It was still dirty, so apparently I cooked something on there fucking lately.
Well, I'm running out of room. My mother-in-law sent me a picture of another fucking pit. I was like, no, don't need that shit.
What was
Come
it?
on now.
I don't know, dude. She's all into fucking estate sales, and there was some. I don't even know what the hell it was.
Right.
So, well, cool.
Hell yeah.
Sam, introduce our guests today, dude.
Yeah, tonight we got one of the guys from South Texas, Twisted D. We got Donnie on, and then we got a special guest with Russ with Smokey Rebel.
Yeah, and Willie too.
Willie.
And Willie T's there too.
That's cool.
Bring him in. Oh shit, there's Donnie.
What's up, boys?
Oh.
Yo, man, what's going
What's
on,
up,
Dad?
boys?
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, thanks for all y'all to be on. You know, spend some time with us. We appreciate it, man.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Man.
I talked to Willie Russ about getting you on the show, and he told me the time difference between over there and over here, and I'm like, that shit ain't gonna work. So
well, it's 2 o'clock in the morning in England.
yeah,
We're in the UK.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then he said
That's fine.
you're fixing to leave, so I'm like, man, it's perfect timing. Let's bring everybody on. Let's just
Yeah.
bullshit for a little bit.
I'll get up for you though, or stay up.
Yeah, awesome.
Donnie Dickbag.
Hey, Eric.
Fuck you!
Donnie Big Bag. And Donnie,
Oh,
appreciate you coming on, man.
man, all good, brother. I appreciate the
Much
invite.
appreciated, bro.
Appreciate the invite.
What's up, Cody?
Let's see.
So this is a unique show where we get started on this, man.
Corby, what the hell?
Hey,
I don't even know
quick
what's happening,
question
Corby.
I got a serious question, Russ.
My
Y'all
pinche
drink
gordo.
y'all drink fucking warm beer over there in England, or y'all drink?
Well, this
cold
one's
beer?
warm. It's not meant to be warm, but yeah. No lager. It's just because it's been in the car all day. But we're trying to freeze it. Yeah, but that's how all they drink warm. Just, you know what? It makes sense in the winter. It makes sense. So seasonal drinking is a thing.
Crazy.
A cold, you can't beat it. I'm a lager man, but there are a few that I like. I'm not IPA. I'm not really into that, but
No.
Yeah, me either. Nah. Right.
I like, yeah, you can't beat it chilled. But, you know,
That's all.
What you sipping on, Donnie? We seen some tequila over there.
Yeah, a little tequila and some water with a little Crystal Light mixed in it. I had to cut back on the beer because my fat diabetic ass started having some tingling in the fingers, and that was the only thing that made it stop. It was either that or stop drinking. So
go to tequila. So go to tequila. Oh shit, man. Oh man.
What he said, he's gonna start speaking Spanish with an English accent.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, getting started, Donnie, tell us a little bit about Twisted D. We all know Twisted D. Shit, you've been a long time listener, first time guest, right?
Yeah. Man, actually, I grew up in a barbecue business. My dad owned 2 barbecue restaurants, and I guess you would say that's actually where the bug got initially started there. I mean, I was trimming briskets at freaking 13, you know. But competition-wise, I did one like 94. It was more of a drink fest and burning meat, and I was like, that's actually kind of cool. Then I didn't do it again for a few years, and then I had a 4-man team. We did like 3 a year or whatever. And then when my kids got in high school and shit, you know, it was kind of laid off for a while, and about 10 years actually. And my wife was like, I think you have to do it again. And I'm like, okay. So we did like 3 a year, and then we were like, you know what, let's ramp it up a little bit. And then I did a shadow with my buddy Malcolm. Malcolm Kitchen and I have been friends for like 20 years. And then I ended up doing a couple, and took a class with Vincent. Actually, Vincent's first class that he ever did. And just started rolling out of there. And I started doing my seasonings before I even really got serious about freaking cooking.
Yeah.
And it was more or less just to offset the barbecue habit, you know. Because we only started with 3, and now we're up to freaking 7. So
yeah, that's all it goes.
I have fun creating them. I really do. To me, that's the fun part. Work is everything else that goes with it. The fun part's creating the shit. Right, Rebel?
Yeah. With you on that one.
Yeah.
You said 94, Donnie?
Yeah, Hillsboro, Texas, Cotton Picking Festival.
Dude, I was still a splatter on my dad's socks.
Yeah, Sam wasn't even in the sack by then.
I was a sophomore in high school.
Yeah, I'm an old fucker, man. I'm an old fucker. I actually originally from the area that Corby is in right now. Actually, about 30 miles away from where Corby's at. So Corby's my dog, man.
Nice.
I doodle pew some good shit, man.
Yeah, everybody talks about it. I need to give me some.
Using it, you should be. It's in every damn protein I cook.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. And Russ, what's up with Smokey Rebel? Let the people know.
I'll let the people know. Well, so for me, obviously not being a Texan, we discovered barbecue. It was my dad who got me into it, and he took us to not Texas at first; it was Florida, and that was back in '93. And I was me, my brother, and my mum, but me and my dad would try everything. And actually, the first stuff that I had was like Moho. Sloppy Joes were big back then, which I think have died a death now, but the Sloppy Joes were had a big chain of, or a few restaurants around there as well. And it was my dad that brought it back with him, really. And then he tried to recreate it in Kent, and he failed miserably, but it was still good. we can't, well, at that time, certainly, we couldn't get any grain fed and stuff like that. Costco opened, and back then, a lot of the US meats were coming over. And he only had a vertical smoker, you know, and so like a water vertical. It wasn't even a smoky mountain; it was just a piece of pants that he found. So I don't know where he found it. I don't know where it ended up, and it went from there really. So over the years, we kept going back to the US, Texas being one of the many other states. You know, and I think with Texas, you can't take barbecue out of Texas anywhere else it is, and that's no slander or shadow on anything. It's always better in Texas. So for me and the Seasonings, really, they're my and my dad's, and the great friends that have become family friends, Mexican, Portuguese, Mexican, Americans, and stuff like that. And they're all American. They've got like a bit of a Latin background, and that's where I sort of sit in my flavour profiles because of that. But yeah, they're all my experience to take on it, and I've worked on them over 20 years now. They're not trying to be Texan at all. There's nods to it, and then all the American ones now are by Americans. So Willie T's cherry rub, that's completely him. I'd never make a cherry rub myself. That's not because I don't like cherry rub. It's just not something I've experienced in. And then with Bill Dumas's Texas Red, again, that's a completely Texas recipe there. I haven't got the experience in that. That's his, and we worked on that together, and we got it blended. So each one's got and has to have a meaning for me to push it out, or I at least have had to fully understood the recipe and then my twist on it. And the guys now who are now full rebels, and it's led me here. And as we're saying backstage, you know, the last time I was in Texas, before we started Smokey Rebel, was back in, with the guys, that is, back in 2011. And we went to Snow's, and then, I'm sure you guys, I don't have to tell you guys this, you could walk straight in pretty much, you know. We went at lunchtime, everything was pretty much there. There was a couple of things that were out, but what you expect. And it's been great to see this boom. But what brought me back was the people. And here we are now, rocking around there in Texas, and he's taken me to all the good places and the dives as well. I know you already mentioned it as well. I want to say about that catastrophe. We were high and dry and safe, but we got the tail end of it when we were in Seguin as it was all going on, and you know, just my heart goes out to everyone there, and it was awful to see that. So as an Englishman, and experiencing what you guys obviously live with on not every occasion, but with these flash floods, it's amazing. I don't think people will ever realise how quick and dangerous it can get real fast. So
sure.
I just wanted to say that, you know.
No, I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
But yeah, other than that, we're now in Dallas. Smokey Rebel does Dallas. It's great up here. We've been having fun up here. We've checked out a few other barbecue joints. And we've been munching our way for as many tacos as we can. Really teased, fed up with horchatas, drinking them.
This guy morning, man, let's go get a horchata. Like, man, dude. And then 20 minutes later, he's locked in the restroom.
Yeah, I've got past that point now. After 5, I'm a customer. So my belly's ready now.
Willie T definitely knows the barbecue spots to take you to. That's for sure.
Yeah. We met. I don't know if it was on this show or one of the other shows when we were talking about, you know, because everywhere we go, everybody's like, man, what do you think of the list that came out? And I tell everybody, you know, there's 2,500 barbecue restaurants registered in the state of Texas, and only 319 get visited.
Yep.
You know, that just tells you.
I mean, there's just no physical way they can hit them all.
Yeah, well, just on the drive from from Seguin here, I mean, we were passing barbecue restaurants. We're like, wonder if he'll go to that one. Wonder if he'll go to that one. It's hard. Like there's a lot of restaurants out there, and I like going to just offbeat ones, some that I can try out. I don't go to a barbecue restaurant to eat brisket, ribs, and chicken. I want all that odd shit. We went to Panther City. I had me a burger. Because that's
dude, their bird ends are fucking.
Yeah, we went to
pork belly burn ends. Oh my god.
Oh, dude. For me, when we were in Seguin with at Schultz's, they kept on trying to give us barbecue, and I'm like, oh man, I don't want to eat barbecue. I want something else.
Yeah. Well, I think the great thing is, well, outside of that is there's so many people out there, and there's enough room. There really is enough room for everyone. And like with Donnie in it, they will be completely different to everyone else's, and and I think you're only really competing with yourself. I don't see people or other companies and different things as competition. It's just you're competing with yourself to do better for yourself.
Yeah,
and that's something that like in England, and this is no shadow, but with a lot of the guys or a few of the guys out there, I think it's where they've never, or a few of them have never been here, and they don't really understand a lot of it, or certainly been to the States, and they're just okay, this is what it is, rather than look, be yourself, put your trial and your experiences forward, because that's also going to elevate with you with other people that can go, you know what, check out Donnie's Twisted Tea stuff, because that's completely different to what I'm not going to do that. We've got no plans of doing this. He does this. It's great, and that's what I've always gone along the ethos with. Certainly in the UK, I had people come up to me and they'll say, "Have you got a St. Louis rub?" And I'll say, "Well, no. What's a St. Louis rub to you?" And they'll say, "Well, it's got ginger in it." And I think, "Oh, is it? Okay, well, that's St. Louis." I won't say that to them because maybe they have. Maybe they've had it. I say, check these guys out. They're doing something like that, and I think that's barbecue as well out there. And what I see is all the ones that are becoming quite successful, got their own thing going on, and if your own thing going on, and you're always going to be, I think, moving forward.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I told them, when I first got involved with them, I was like, man. He's like, I want to bring this rub to Texas. I'm like, dude, that's like bringing sand to the beach here, because the market is so saturated with rubs. But, once I tasted what they had and what they put in it, using all natural ingredients, freshly ground spices and everything, I'm like, I think this could work. Plus, we're not trying to capture that barbecue, competition people. We want the backyard barbecuers that just want to make their food taste better. And that's what our rub offers. Like Donnie's on your rub, is great on whatever you put it on. We just want, you said it early backstage. There's enough room for everybody. We just want that little.
That's right. Your little bite over there, your little room at the table there. Yeah.
$18 billion industry. I just want to drop.
That's it. That's all we need is just to drop. That's enough. And
that's it. The problem I'm having right now, I just got my first. So I've been doing it all myself for the last 2 years. All doing it under Texas home cottage law. My wife and I do all the blending. I do all the creating, bottling, labeling. We hit farmers markets and this and that. And I'm the same way, Willie. It's like that competition bubble is like this.
Yeah.
That fucking home cook bubble.
Exactly.
It's huge. And what's the deal with everybody today? They're busy. Okay, so I have a twisted pork. Oh, I'm making pork chops tonight. Oh, hey, twisted pork. Boom, done. Oh, twisted clucker. I'm doing chicken. Done. Because they're not thinking about layering like we do in a competition world. They don't think about that.
Yeah, exactly.
Some of them may, but not all of them, because they're in a rush. They want to get it boom and done,
Yeah.
Yep.
So I know I'll make more money from the everyday cook than the weekend cook. I do sponsor some people, and I would love, to be more into the competition world. But you gotta start somewhere. And to me,
and as many competitions as I've done, I noticed that a lot of the competition cooks that have rubs out there don't even use their own rubs. They use, a blend of
They
everybody
use
else's
Smokey
rubs.
Rebels, and that's why they've won.
No, they
I
use
actually
different.
did that. I was actually one of those people until 2 comps ago.
Donnies.
And the first comp, I was like, dude, I was so fucking nervous. That whole Friday, I was pacing and nervous, and while I was injecting and everything. And I just made a new beef rub, and I'm like, that's the one I wanted. It's more beefy. I want to use it as a rub and an injection. So I'm like, all right, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. I'm doing all my shit. I'm gonna take everybody else's shit out, and I'm doing strictly mine. Fucking no chicken call, no rib call, and I'm like, fuck, did I fuck up? Oh man, this is bullshit. Boom, first place pork. Boom, first place brisket. I was like, fuck yeah. All right, I guess we'll stick with it for a little bit. They got my ass kicked in Cuero, so it's all good.
It's all good, man. Yeah.
Some days you're the hero, some days you're the zero.
That's right.
Yep.
So which one was your first one, Donnie? Which one was your first one?
Well, first, spice.
Yeah.
My Twisted Dust. It was a salt pepper garlic. Or
Okay.
is it salt pepper garlic? Second was the clucker, the chicken. Third was the beef with the charcoal in it.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people use faded black. His is a little bit more salty than mine. Mine's a little bit more smoky than his. But they do the same. They have the same reaction on the brisket. They make a beautiful freaking bun.
Right.
Beautiful freaking bun.
Right. Hell yeah.
And then after that, I was like, man, that was kind of fun creating those. All right. Then I came up with the Twisted 5, which I know a bunch of y'all guys know the Twisted 5. Matter of fact, a little story about the 5. So in Cuero, I've been doing my steaks with nothing. The first layer I always put on is 5, period. Then at Cuero, I did the 5, and I did the new beef. That was it. 5th out of 55 steaks. I was like, got to be something there.
Yeah.
First time running it.
Yeah, first time running on the steak.
Nice.
And I only bought one steak. I usually buy 2 steaks. I told my wife, I was like, fuck it, I'm just buying one. She goes, are you crazy? I was like, probably. But, fuck it, we're going to send it. And then after the 5 was the pork. Then the seafood and the wild game, which, like Russ was talking about, you throw some little oddball shit. And, oh, you got ginger in there? Well, this one's got juniper berries. So, so I'm in that same boat there trying to throw some off shit on there, and it's mine. The only thing that's not a seasoning in mine is an anti-clumping agent. Because if you don't, you're going to end up with a ball of shit in the bottle. I mean, and it's less than 2%. So, because max you can put in is 2 anyway. So, I mean, that's the only thing that's Gollum. That seafood is bomb. I had Michael from Homegrown. He had bought like 4 bottles of seafood, and he's like, dude, I'm going to do a boil. So, you're going to do what? He said, I'm going to do a boil. I said, bro, you got to let me know how that goes, man. That sounds badass. Because I'll say that the seafood, it had anything you think about fish or seafood. What's up, Kev? It's got, so it was actually based on the clucker, but I took out the black pepper and I put in lemon pepper, and then I bumped the pecan a little bit, and I added a butter powder. So everybody thinks of butter, lemon, and pecan crusted fish, right? All that's in the fucking rub.
Nice.
Throw it on, let it ride. So anyway, so he does this boil, crab boil, shrimp boil, and he goes, I'm gonna let you know how it goes. If it works, you need to package it up so we can do like crawfish boils and shit. I'm like, 100. You do it. Let me know how it goes. I get a text that Saturday. I'm gonna cook off, and he goes, bag that shit today. He's like, dude, everybody is freaking raving. He goes, bag that shit today. He said, I used 3 bottles to do the boil, and I took the last bottle when it come out. Done. And he said, vegetables, sausage, everything. Boom. It was
Wow.
amazing. So
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm actually selling that now in a 2.5 pound bag, which is good enough for a 30-pound sack of crawfish. So I know it's the end of the season, so I only made a few bags. I made like 4 bags. I've already sold like 2 of them. So anyway,
Nice.
just
Hell
something
yeah.
to fuck around with to think about for next season, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
Awesome.
It's pretty cool.
Awesome. And Smokey Rebel, talk about your product a little bit, Russ. How many you got?
What have we got? We got 12.
14.
There's 14. So
Okay.
it's 12,
Wow.
12 of mine, and then 2, because I don't claim them. Willie teases his cherry rub, and then he'll do us with his red. So, and my ones are probably the first one I did was the Chipotle. We changed the name, but I called it Chipotle Chicken, and it was a bit of banter between me and myself and Texas because of your chicken steak that doesn't have any steak in it. So I wanted to call it a chicken cowboy, Chipotle Chicken. That's the name. And all the labels have a resemblance to or a nod to the flavors via pop culture or something to do in my journey. So we got the Miami Mojo. That one is where I learned that in Florida with the Cuban community down there. And in Luis, with me and my dad and my family, our first Mojo. But I put habanero in it because I like a bit of heat. And habanero is actually, well, it used to be cultivated in Cuba. So, but the Cubans don't really like spice. So I stuck it in there because it's a lovely fruity chili, and it works really well. The mojo, we got orange in there, and coconut sugar, and pepper, and a couple of other little things. But it's relevant as well because they used to cultivate it and send it to the Mexicans, and the Mexicans named it habanero, which means Havana. So I stuck, and I like this. I grew up with my dad. We watched Miami Vice. As I got older, I started understanding it. Obviously, not when he was watching that TV. He didn't really care. He used to have it on. He watched everything. I grew up on Vietnam films when I was a kid. People getting shot and screaming. I can remember that getting nightmare.
Yeah.
But as I grew up, I understood it a lot more. But Miami Vice, so that's a nod to that, and we've got the alligator on there, Elvis. You know, just little nods. And for all my sins, I'm a Dolphins fan because that's where I first discovered American football. Was in Miami. I'm sorry. My dad, he was at LA Raiders, then an Oakland Raiders, and now he's a Vegas Raiders fan. And he got into it in the 80s, and it's probably odd for you guys because in England or Britain, most of the fans are dotted all over the place, and it's normally when they see the first team or what exposure they have to it. Oakland Raiders were on. The LA Raiders were on a lot for him in the 80s. And I used to watch a little bit of it, and it wasn't until I went out to Florida I really got into the Dolphins, mainly because of Dan Marino was still around then, and they were kicking some butt. And I ended up coming back playing American football myself for a London team, the Olympians. But getting back to the rubs, because it's all tired. It's all, and I think that's what barbecue. The great thing about barbecue and cooking and fire cooking is it brings everyone together. And like I say, everyone's flavour's different, you know. And these have been my experiences, and adding things to it to bring it in line with me. But the mojo that's a good one on seafood. Pork, obviously. Beef, it doesn't. You can, but I wouldn't. People have said they like it. I don't think that it works too well on beef. It's your white meats, your turkeys and stuff. Great on turkeys and things like that. And then up to the recent al pastor, we've got the achiote, pineapple, tortilla in there. And that one, really, I got fed up with blending, the achiote paste. Like, I hate chopping onions. And I just hate, and then I do it, obviously, we all do, but it just, to me, it's just like, it does my head in. And also with rehydrating seed, chilies and scraping all the seeds out and stuff like that. So I wanted something that you didn't have to do that. If it's a rub and a marinade, you can just add orange juice to it if you want, get that paste going, and you've got pastor or just chuck it straight on anything. I use it. In fact, if you mix that one with the mojo, you've got your asado chicken. So, which again, two cultures there. You've got the Cubans and the Mexicans, and they sort of come together on the asado chicken. So they go hand in hand. When you want to do some grilled chicken, I just mix them two together, and I'm off. Especially being in England, and like what Donnie said with people just don't have time. You know, I mean, how many videos have we all watched where you go, "Wow, that was really it's great cooking, it's amazing," but you know, I ain't going to spend 2 hours going to find the ingredients before you actually start making it. And you want to, you know, and it's only us nerds, I think. Sorry for calling you nerds, but I think we've all got that. You're going to go to that effort to do it, but like, you know, the average person, they're going to go, "Oh, I'd love to eat that. Can you cook it for me?" Well, the closest we can do for you is here's our seasoning. Chuck that on your chicken, and it's going to be a million times better than probably what you're doing. And that's really where the El Pastor come from. It's like, you know, you've got to sauce this, you've got to sauce that, you've got to do this. Here, it's in our seasoning. There you go. Holy jalapeno, I love jalapenos, with real jalapenos, and the power of jalapenos as well. And I always say to people, look, spice is subjective. Over here, you guys seem to be able to handle jalapeno a lot better than guys in England. That's for sure. And they always look here and they'll go, "Oh, jalapeno," oh, you know. I say, look, just put a little bit on, you'll get the flavour of the jalapeno. Which leads to a funny story with my wife. When I first met her, she couldn't eat jalapeno; it was too hot. So I poisoned her over the years. It took many years. Just a little.
Slowly, small doses,
Slowly, yeah. But I got too cocky once, and I don't know why. And I'm sure you can relate. You think, "Yeah, I'm going to go for it." And I went with a Trinidad scorpion. I don't know why I did it, but I made this crazy rub. And I wouldn't even sell it because it was insane. And I done like she was really, we're all hungry. I done like a hash breakfast, you know, potatoes, eggs, all that. And I put it all through it. And she didn't talk to me for a week. That's no explanation. She was so
Now it's
mad.
time to start moving to habanero.
Yeah. I should have. But I just I got just too cocky, and I just thought, no, I reckon she's on. You know what? I reckon she's ready for a Trinidad scorpion.
It's just a little jump.
A little bit.
Yeah, it was. It was only a tiny bit. It was enough. But yeah, and yeah, I think that to me is important as well. Is trying to educate people. And I don't know if you guys have that problem here with saying, look, chili is subjective. We have ghost pepper in one, and that's the Spitfire. In fact, we're actually having trouble sourcing ghost pepper because most people don't want to touch it because of the fear of it. But it's a lovely fruity chili. And with our Spitfire, we're from Kent, where the company is, originated from Kent. And where I barbecue, we have the Spitfires come over on the sunny days in the summer. And my granddad, he used to watch, he was too young for the war, but he lived in London and he'd watch the Spitfires and hurricanes dogfighting. My other granddad actually served in the Navy in World War II. But he used to watch it, and 131 Kent Spitfire Squadron are from Kent. They ended up in northeast India, where the ghost pepper was eventually made, and he wasn't there when they were there. It's from that area, so like I try and find the links that can link up to a little bit of a story, sort of educate people on you know, where's this chili from? It's an Indian chili, is from the northeast, and the Spitfire Squadron, the little character you see on the front, he's actually, you know, from Kent, and they become the Royal Indian Air Force Spitfire Squadron. Nice. So it's tiny, and I'm sure Don can relate to it. There's so much you can get on a label, and being a nerd, I do always go on. And at first, I was writing these paragraphs on a can, you know, like on the can, on the labels, and you know, and our labeling guy was like, "Look, you know, we haven't got a book here, we've got a can." So, so I try I try and just give a little bit more, you know, like now I know that surface level information that's related to it, albeit fun. You know, like we've got a wingman rub, and that one's just because I think I look like Tom Cruise and I love Top Gun. So, but yeah, and I love Top Gun. Like probably you guys here grew up on all of that. You know, I cried at Top Gun 2, and you know. Such an emotional film. And I went down. I went to them 3D. You know the 3D thing. You know, like where they do everything. And I hadn't been on one of them before. I took my wife, and we were really looking forward to it. Anyway, the popcorn's coming out, and his hair's blown. You know, like I filmer, and it was a nightmare. But I did really enjoy it, and I come out of it. And that was the inspiration for that wingman rub, because I thought, what does this go on? This goes great on wings. You know, who's my wingman? It's Iceman.
Right.
So, but he's, you know, Goose is dead. So again, had the same problem with that. A whole paragraph, put it on the label, and got told I can't put it.
Kyle, you awake?
Yeah.
Or I'll lay back like.
He's like, oh.
Yeah, I usually sit up, man. I usually sit up, and I have my fucking laptop on the deal when I'm bent over most of the show, like hunched over kind of at the laptop, dude, and my fucking back hurts, man, like every fucking time. And every time we're done, dude, I get up and I walk around. I'm holding my back like I'm fucking 65 years old and shit. So I said, fuck it, I'm just sitting back this time, relaxing.
Yeah.
Y'all don't let him lie. He wasn't bent over because of his laptop.
That's where them intermittent smiles come in, bro.
Donnie, talk to.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, talk to us about the your take on the whole pepper jalapeno seasonings type stuff. I mean, how are you doing yours?
I do not have any jalapeno in mine. I do have cayenne in most of them. I just think I don't know. I like it personally, but I know I'm not cooking for myself.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So I have some people that say, man, that's got some heat. No, it don't. It ain't got no fucking heat. It's just a little ride at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Come on now. You know, it's like, it's not zapping your taste buds. You know, it's like some people that do chili. You know, they do these chili cook-offs. And I'm like, man, that's got a good zip to it. You know, da-da-da-da. It ain't hot enough. Well, motherfucker, I ain't trying to burn my taste buds. I want to eat the shit. And I don't need a bomb pop after I get through eating it to go to the bathroom. I want to eat ice cream before I go to the bathroom. And yes, hey, you are correct that Crawford Serrano is a damn good seasoning. It is a damn good seasoning.
Yeah, Crawford's for sure.
I actually have a bottle of it. That's like, even with all my own rubs, I've got 9 now because I have 2 that's not named, and I tried to do so. The 8th one that I've got, it works for pork and chicken.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it works on anything because at Briscoe I kind of ran it on everything except for steak and chicken, and actually ended up not too bad at Briscoe with the number of teams anyway. So I was happy with it. You know, I've been using it. Some other teams on the trail have been using it. And then, of course, I have that new beef, which I'm the only one that's used it since I've come out with that. But I'm actually fixing to make some fresh batches this week. But I'm kind of trying to take my time a little bit because I don't want to have to do another label for these 2 if I'm going to do the co-packing thing. You know what I mean? I don't want to pay double labels, you know, so just trying to bottle a little at a time for me to use for cook-offs for, you know, maybe some of the protein, which Anthony is part of. He never tells anybody. Fuck him. I'm going to call him out.
What the fuck? I love this shit, man.
I know it's fucking secret.
That clucker, though, that's my number 1 seasoning. I use that all the damn time, man.
But yeah, so yeah, I'm typically leaning more toward cayenne than jalapeno or anything. I mean, I may come up with another. Who knows? I love creating the shit, dude. I really do. That's the fun part to me. But I probably ought to start making more income before my wife goes, all right, don't be making no more shit. Sell what you got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's in the house
Well,
right now watching, going, that's right, motherfucker.
every idea costs money.
What's that?
People come to you and say, "Oh,
No way.
why don't you do?" And you're
See,
like,
that's
"Oh,
why I have my
man."
black microphone was for Louis today, because he always has something in his face. Willie, you quiet tonight, man.
Ah, man, what you want to know?
You're like, fuck, I was just on here.
Louis been, Louis, I'm reading that there, and saying Louis been a hero. Driving.
He said being
Yeah,
a
I get to-
tour guide is tiring.
Yeah. Tour guide.
I have to drive from Seguin. He wants to talk in Seguin, and I'm like, dude, let's go. I have to drive to Dallas. Sure enough, we're driving. And this dude's
Gotta do his rest in between, yeah.
Right away.
yeah.
It's like all my kids, Dad, I'll stay awake and keep you awake. I look over there all up against the window.
Yeah. I'm trying to, here in Dallas, they got all this construction. I'm trying to keep my eye on the road, look at the GPS, and this guy's like, look at that over there. I'm like, dude, I'm trying to drive.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's been a while, couple of weeks now.
It's been good. I mean, I'm just glad that I have the time right now to be able to take get on the road and do what we need to do to get this up and showing him some spots that I know of. Going out and seeing Trey today. I haven't seen Trey since Troubadour last year, and man, his place is beautiful. I haven't been over there since he opened it. That's a nice ass barbecue joint there. And he's working hard to try to get it going. Where he's located, it's not a lot of barbecue traffic that goes through there,
Right.
So they're trying to get what they can to get more people in. But I'm sure he will. I mean, Trey's a great guy. He does good, good cooking, and I like the Tex-Mex flavors that he's doing with everything over there. And he's gonna make it.
He deserves
Right
it.
on.
Yeah.
Rob, what up, Robbie?
What's up, Rob?
What's up, Rob?
Yeah, he has a great location, man. That location right there at the entrance where everybody sees that big mural coming in, it's like you can't help but stop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, shit. I come to Dallas to go work with him in an air-conditioned pit room. Shit.
Damn.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brendan was telling me that. Go ahead. No,
I
go
was
ahead.
before the trailer I've got now, it was an RV that had the deck cut off. And so it was where the bathroom used to be and the bunks and all that. And it still had the air conditioner vent, so we had left the ceiling intact. My wife's like, you think we ought to close this off to push more air in there? I was like, hell no. I like standing in front of this sumbitch when I'm in front of this pit.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm melting this way. I'm not made for it. So
Yeah, we did a pop up at one of my friends' shops, and it was hot in Houston that day. It was like 99, and he got it where he had me out there on that little grill cooking all this chicken. He was in the air conditioner. I was like, we got
You over there talking about
that. Yeah, I'm like I was burnt out. So we get to Seguin, and Clifford is there. He got a 500 gallon that he bought. He called, hey, Willie, why don't you come out here and help me put this pit in? I go, Russ, go out there and help that. Then I took off back into the pit room.
Yeah.
And he was out there. He's like, you disappeared. I'm like, yeah, it was your turn to be.
Oh man.
So yeah, we gave Bill a hand out there, help him trim up some briskets, some chicken, all that. They've been getting hit pretty hard. They get a lot of the overflow from Ernest over there. Ernest is doing very well, and that line over there is wrapped around.
Dude, he's been
even during the
lot, bro.
storm. It was Yeah.
And
He's
So
around the
they've been
block
noticing
every
that.
day.
They've been
Every
noticing that
day.
people are coming over there to Schultz's to
Yeah.
eat. But yeah, it's like Russ says, man. There's enough for everybody, and if you're doing good barbecue out there, then it's going to bring people in no matter what.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
exactly that. So I
Absolutely.
think anyone that's listening, don't be put off at having a go at anything. The only thing that stops you really is yourself. The biggest
Yeah.
enemy you've got is yourself. I look in the mirror and I call myself all sorts of things. And sometimes, it's like, not to bring the mood down, but I don't know how you guys feel sometimes, but you find yourself in dark places, and at the end of the day, it's yourself and it's your own mind you've got to beat, and everyone out there, I hope that with especially like in the barbecue community, if you want to call it that, but most people, I'd say probably 99% of people actually want to just see you succeed, and they know where you've been. I know the pains where Donnie is, like blending it yourself, and to do that, in a little hut, like an old catering trailer, and it used to be out there, and it's hard doing everything, and it still doesn't get much better. There's more stresses and different things as we go along. But I think at the end of the day, the only competitions you've got yourself. Be yourself, and there's room for everyone.
I noticed this weekend, just being at just we were out there, and we see all these influencers that go online and do all these damn videos, but nobody sees all the fucking work that we have to do to just do a 2-minute video. You have to cook everything. It's gonna take 5 or 6 hours. Then you gotta get all the cameras and the mics all ready. Then you're filming all this content, and then you gotta cut it. Then you have to edit it. And just for a 2 fucking minute video, it took 10 hours.
Yeah.
That 3 people are gonna watch.
Yeah. Because Serge does
one like,
and then someone says that shit. And then
Serge can speak to that, because Serge does some badass work, man. He really does with his camera and videos and shit. Serge puts out some really cool shit.
But like Russ said earlier, it's not competing for anybody else. You're competing against yourself, and that's basically what I'm doing. So whether anybody sees it or whatever, at least I know I like it. Even the little minute things that nobody's even going to notice on some of the stuff that I do, I notice it. You know what I mean? So if I notice it, then somebody else out there will notice it, and blah, blah, blah. And so I just kind of do it that way, and I do it for myself. You know what I mean? Do it for myself. I've been doing photography since 2015, 2016, somewhere around there. And we just kind of blended both of them together. So
that twisted beef picture you sent me with the bottle of twisted beef, was that laying on a brisket?
Yes, I think it was.
Yeah,
I remember correctly.
That came out really good.
Correctly.
That came out sweet. Yeah.
So
way to go, Serge.
So I was on a podcast a couple weeks ago. Actually, it just hit this past Saturday, but the guy asked me a question. I was like, that's a damn good question. So I'm going to ask all you guys, because most of y'all are all comp cooks. And he said, so, and it was right after Rosanke where I had the 2 first and a 15 and 16. He was like, so when is it that you start thinking about what you did and what's next? I told him as soon as I pick up the fucking paper and see the results. I was like, as soon as the awards are over, and I pick that shit up.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, what's next? What I need to do? What's the comments, if there are any? Of course, there's not a lot of people that comment sometimes. Sometimes you get stupid comment, not stupid, but funny, like that girl thick on ribs and shit like that. But then you get some that are too salty, some that are too spicy, and it's like, okay, that shit's all subjective. So I really don't fuck with shit like that if it's like one here and one there. But when do you guys start looking at that shit?
Willie, when would you start looking at that?
Well, for me, I mean, I try not to change up anything. Whenever we're doing competition cooking, I try to keep it. If something's working for me, I usually just leave it at that. I mean, you're not always going to win long.
Right.
Right. you gotta just take it for what it is. I mean, I think the last time we were on here, we were talking about that. That's when whoever did that comp that posted that all the judges gave them 10s, and then one judge gave them all 5s.
Yeah.
It's like you get that one judge that this is the new. I've been a judge. That's why I wanted to see why I was doing really bad at the beginning. So I started doing judging, and I would watch other judges while they were judging, and look at them, and they would give lower scores than what us we would give. Just people don't know, they're not educated. I don't think they try to tell them, but still they're going to judge however they want to. So I'm thinking, whenever I'm doing a competition cook and I'm using the seasonings and sauces and everything, if it's winning and if it's doing good, I'm not going to change it much. Why?
Right.
You can't win them all. So I just try to keep it simple. Try to, now a year down the line, if I start, not winning nothing or not even placing or anything, then I'll think about changing something up. Or, I'll go to judging again to see what everybody's doing.
Right.
That's the one thing good about, being a spiceologist. We can tell what people are using, and we can tweak our own, recipes.
Yep.
And that works for me.
Yeah, I usually do like 5 or 6 before I change anything. And if I change something, it's like minute. It might be okay. A wee bit more pepper or a wee bit more salt or something. Yeah. It's something stupid little, right?
I was always told, whenever you're doing competitions out of town in different cities, go to the local barbecue joint and see what they're cooking there, because that's usually going to tell you what it's salty or it's peppery or whatever like that, because that's what the judges are going to look for. So we did that for a long time. Even when I was with Robert Smith, we'd go hit up a barbecue restaurant right before competition just to see where the flavor profile was.
Right on, man.
Yeah.
Me personally, whenever I do a competition like that, it would honestly have to find out where I land overall, right? Hold on.
Damn, what, you fall down or something?
Where did you land?
Damn, bro. Like I was saying, bro, what the fuck? Anyways, like I'm at a competition, right? And then after I see the overall results, whether I'm doing IVCA, CBA, whatever sanctioning body, but see where I land overall. And as long as I'm consistent in that same protein, I really don't want to change things up. As long as I stay middle of the road, I think I'm in the right direction. You know what I mean? But other than that, I mean, I don't really try and take too much away from it, except for this last comp. I mean, I was all up in my feelings and shit, but it is what it is. Couldn't help, man. I got all butthurt about that shit, man. I was over there singing Linkin Park by myself and shit.
So CBA Worlds, me and Anthony are all messaging back and forth and shit. I was like, all right, bro, hit me up. Pass this motherfucker in the truck. That's the only time I fucking saw him.
Oh, damn. I didn't even get to see his DJ or nothing, man.
Cue Lincoln Park. Oh, man.
I've met Sam a couple times, met Kyle at Brady, actually, when I was parked back there by Gary. On the other side of the lake.
Yep.
Was that before the $250,000 RV or the after?
That was before.
Nice.
That was actually the weekend I blew 2 tires on the same fucking side of my trailer.
Damn.
I get there finally, and it was me and Lil Twisty, which she's 13 now. She was 12 then. And they're like, okay, Kids Q is half chicken. I'm like, what? Half chicken? These fucking kids don't cook half chickens. No. She looks at me, she goes, Dad, I ain't never cooked a half chicken. I was like, you going to this weekend?
Learn today.
Dude, she goes, well, what do? I said, just season it up the way you want to. I'll tell you the temps. You check it. I'll do what I do and hold the lid, let you do your thing. Put the lid back down. It's all on you. She goes, well, I'm going to do what you do with your chicken. I'm like, okay. So she fucking walked with her chicken. I didn't walk with mine. Same fucking thing, dude. Exact same fucking recipe. Same everything. and I ended up with second place brisket, and KP had first, and he ended up GC in it.
What's
Man,
the
crazy.
what was
At
that
least I
one?
paid for my tires that weekend.
Was that 2-hour turn-ins on that one?
I think so, yeah.
So when we went to turn in fucking ribs, dude, they were still judging final tables of chicken.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
you know that
2
chicken
hours.
didn't taste good. You know that final table did not fucking taste good, bro.
Oh,
No.
dude. No, because they're eating cold ass shit.
Yeah.
I used to tell people all the time long before CBA came along, and when everybody was still doing two rounds and all that, you need to make sure your shit tastes good cold.
Yes.
Period. Because by the time it gets to that final table, your shit gonna be cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can put hand warmers in your little carrying case or whatever the fuck you want to do. That shit's still gonna be cold when it hits that last table.
Yeah.
I mean,
Turn in
I've
with
seen
1 second remaining. There you go.
Yeah, I see people like, they're so immaculate about their boxes and shit and making sure there ain't nothing on there. That once, being a judge, once that shit gets to the judge's hand, they fucking, next day they open the lid, there's sauce on the top of the damn box. And I mean, it's really for nothing, that they do all that, if you ask me. Then when they give the presentation score, everybody's going to give them the 9 or 10 anyway. But it's those people that handle those boxes don't handle them right sometimes.
Oh no. Nope.
Yeah, I saw that at the Galveston County Fair cook-off that they had over there, man. They just throw those boxes in other boxes, and it's like, it's horrible.
It's like, here, let me help you. I'll shake this bitch up and hand it to you.
Domino, motherfucker, what's happening?
Yahtzee, bitch.
So yeah, I was telling you a funny story on the way up here. He's like, "Hey man, let me log on to some of your data so I could do some videos." Right? We're driving from Seguin over here, and we get to no man's land. And I look at my phone, and it's fucking at 2%. I'm like, "What the hell, man?" I said, "I think you're taking all my data, drained all my fucking phone." I had that bitch plugged in all the way in, so it was not even charges. Had we got, my phone died, I don't know what the hell we would have. I don't know how we fucking drove this state without GPS. Yeah, watching porn instead of editing videos.
Yeah,
Oh shit.
that's my premium account.
Take that back, Kyle. First time we cooked together, was Fort Stockton last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And then
remember.
Brady was after that.
I remember I rolled up before Stockton, and I looked over. I'm like, who the fuck cut the back of the goddamn camper out and made it into a fucking porch trailer? That's some redneck shit.
Motherfucker worked like a champ. I sold that bitch too, just like it was for a barbecue gum.
You said get creative, bro.
It's funny.
Damn, Serge lost the stream, bro.
Seriously, fell out.
I'm stuck in his data.
All right, Sam.
All right. Fuck it, he's
All
dead
right.
weight anyway, bro. Step up.
All right, I already made this bitch a little stiff, so don't make me spit it out.
Be the first thing you ever spit out, huh?
Yeah. Oh fuck.
All right, guys. So we do a dream team, and what it is so in the competition world, you got 4 proteins in KCPS, IBCA. You can have 4, but you got 4 teammates, and you got a box runner. So it can be 4 people that have influenced you on your journey that you want to take to a comp, just wherever you want to go with it. And you've got 1 honorable mention that didn't quite make the top 4,
Box runner.
which is
4
your
and
box
1.
runner.
So 4 and 1.
Yep, 4 and 1.
You want to go first, Russ?
Yeah.
It don't matter to me.
Okay, that's hard because, well, obviously, I think Willie T, Bill Dumas, there's 2. There's a couple of English guys in there as well, and they're going to get on the road if I don't mention them all. So we can only. Well, my dad. I know you lot don't know my dad, like, so obviously again, that's number 3. And I'm sure he'll watch it. He was a big part of my journey. And then number 4, number 4 is really hard. There's so many that have influenced me, but outside of barbecue as well, you know, like right. Let me think. It's gonna be it'll be my brother-in-law Simon, who actually can't barbecue to save his life.
Right on.
He's going to be in he'll be in the top 4. The reason he's in the top 4 is because I always find with barbecue and anything you're doing in life, you're not a self-made person, man, woman. There's always people around you that are picking you up, right? And it's always the ones I think that never, you know, like when you cook something and you've got a clean plate. I know it sounds ridiculous, but because it's not a skill so much to clean a plate, but it is. People don't know how to clean a plate properly. The person to clean the plate for you or whatever, you know, in that kitchen or wherever you've been, it's all teamwork. I mean, he doesn't wash any plates up, Simon, but he's there supporting him. Smokey Rebel wouldn't be there without him. So he's there. And then the box runner, my box runner. Who can I insult? Who would run the box?
The low man on the totem pole right now.
Yeah. You know. God, that's a real hard one. Again, you guys would know him, but I'd make Ryan our box runner. So Ryan's our I like to call him our grill master. My thing's really more fire cooking, live fire, really, because smoking in the UK, like I say, we don't have woods. Things have moved on. I prefer pellet at home because it's the right wood. You know, we've got Yoda smokers and stuff like that, and I've got Yodas, and they do a great job. And like I said at the beginning, I don't think you can just barbecue out of Texas. You know, so my box runner would be Ryan, not as an insult, but as he make sure that box got to me. Ryan, he's known as Essex Redneck. He's never met a redneck in his life, but he seems to think he likes the cold. He's a legend, but he's always there for me. And them guys, they done Ascot while we've been here, and they smashed Ascot. They done like 1,000 bites of samples, getting the rubs in everyone's mouth. We done like tomahawks over fire and all sorts of stuff they were doing. And Spitfire, going back to the heat thing, we do like a little meatball, and I just got to quickly mention this before we go on. But I did meatballs outside Lidgates in London, and it's the oldest butchers in the world. We've made up these meatballs with Spitfires, and I'm not lying to you, the Swedish just come out of nowhere. I don't know if it was the meatballs, but I've never met many Swedish people wanting to try these meatballs. They're like, oh, meatball. And I was like, it's got ghost pepper in it. Are you all right? You know, yeah, they loved it. And once you get it in their mouth, because we don't use a lot of it, they're like, wow, I didn't realise I could eat ghost pepper. You know, and you're like, it's there for the flavour. It's there for it's not there to you. And as Donnie said, you want that ride, you know, and ghost pepper's one of them ones. It does take you on that ride, and it doesn't go off and over a cliff on how we've got it in the rub. You know, Trinidad, and as my wife will tell you, that goes straight off a cliff. But yes, Ryan's my box runner. He smashed it over there, and he's been an influence to me in loyalty. You know, and if you show and give someone that responsibility and that honor, and they honor you back.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah.
So what you got, Donnie? You got your 4 and your box runner.
Oh, man, you know, I'm going to go with current. So at least pretty current here. Yeah, I think so. Because, I mean, my dad's been gone 23 years, so he was like my first inspiration. But anyway, a dream team. So even though he's been fucking with me on the messages and talking shit about my Rangers, Rob Arocha is first. Because the boys' chicken has been chicken in here lately.
Yeah.
You can't deny it. The boys' bird has been on. Then I'll probably have to go with Alonzo. Alonzo's just consistent in everything he does, man, and he
Yeah,
makes the most beautiful freaking boxes.
Yeah.
yeah,
And he's consistent in his cook.
yeah.
And then I have to go field breeding. Um,
Hmm.
you talk about Mr. Consistency. Doesn't matter where he's at. KCBS, IBCA, CBA, New Zealand, Australia. It don't make a damn.
Nope.
And then of course Uncle Bill, Uncle Bill Purvis.
Hmm.
I've reached out to him a few times, and and even at comps, and he gets feedback and stuff like that. Box runner, Louis stole my box runner last week, but I'm still gonna stick with it. I know some of y'all know Eddie, some of y'all do not. So Eddie always wears boots. Eddie always wears cowboy boots, and inevitably, Eddie's always gonna be running for one turn in. It seems like a lot of times it's pork, but he's always running for one turn in. And that some bitch can move in cowboy boots and get there in time at turn in. I mean, like San Antonio, the boy was running to get in that big ass tent at San Antonio in cowboy boots. So Eddie would definitely be my box runner.
Hell yeah.
Nice,
Solid.
nice.
Yeah.
So I
Hell
mean,
yeah.
as far as current, I mean I think that would be a pretty solid team.
Absolutely.
How's the comp scene over there in the UK, Russ? Y'all have a comp
It's,
scene? Or?
it's nothing like what you guys are used to, and I don't mean that in a shadowy way. I mean that in a it's a completely different world. So you can't really take over what's here in any sense to what's over there.
Mhm.
So they do a lot of freestyle,
Mhm.
like it could be anything. It's going the right way, but it's never gonna be like here. Never.
They're trying. They're trying to get CBA to go over there
Wow.
to Malden. That way, the grand champion for that one will be able to get into international at San Antonio.
Oh, nice.
They do a lot of SCA stuff over there, and they do a lot of WBQA, championships out there. So it's getting there, because I was lucky enough to go last year and see, and plus, I've been to Sweden for the WBQA, and
That's awesome.
is evolving over there. It's not, it's not Texas barbecue. It's not, our competition barbecue, but
Yeah.
they are getting it.
It's never gonna be there, and I mean that in no disrespect. Here, it's a you as soon as you're off the booby here, you're on the brisket, on them brisket.
See, I wouldn't mind the freestyle stuff because I get tired of doing the same old shit all the time.
Yeah.
Like you're suckling as you out the booby. Yeah.
No, it's fun. It is fun. There's fun stuff.
Yeah.
Definitely, and it's just I think on that level, and I mean in no way casting a shadow to Britain. It tries, and it's just a world away. And the freestyle is fun. I mean, I personally don't compete, and I never will, because it's not where I am with barbecue in my life.
Right, in your journey, yeah.
And I respect all the guys that do it, and I think it's, and I love it. I love it, and I'm happy washing dishes, and anything like that, and seeing what these guys go through. And I think the stress would kill me, like honestly, I find that, it's a great experience as an observer and a helper out when we've been to a couple we've, got involved but yeah, I think, for me, competition is a completely different world to barbecue,
right.
barbecue, backyard barbecuing, restaurant. You've got all these different disciplines,
Right.
and different, like different levels of respect, and it all comes together in the, and that's the one thing for me has been the dream, especially with Smokey Rebel, is all this different experience like with me, Bill Dumas, and then with Willie, with his competition. It's all different experiences that come together, which is barbecue, right? And it's like a barbecue without borders, and that to me is what brings us all together. There's something there that we will all be able to sit down to eat like we are now. We're all having a beer. We're completely different in our own ways. And that's what brings us together. That's what freestyle barbecue is like in the UK. You've got all these people, different backgrounds, and you've got the guys that I call like and again, no shadow, the trendsetters. They're into what's trending. And in Britain, barbecue moves fast because of the different cultures that are there, and where it's not ingrained, people are like, well, this is what we're going to be doing. So at the moment, it was brisket, but now they're sort of on tacos now, aren't they? Taco. Yeah. It's like, right, taco. Everyone's got to be cooking. We've never had a taco. These guys have eaten stuff they've never like corn taco is a flavor they've never, they're eating corn, they're like, wow, what is this? And you're like, that's a corn taco. Oh well, I'm used to flour, and they couldn't even tell you the difference, until they eat it, and it's a taste they've never had. It reminds me of a baby. When you give a baby something to eat, when he first eats, he goes, when you have your first beer, when you have your first beer, you're like, oh, I'm not sure about that, but you're like, oh, this is good. That's what they're like with a corn taco. They're eating, it's more like that, and then it goes from there. They pull that face, and now they're trending with Instagram. All the cool kids are having a taco. Everyone wants a taco. It's fantastic. It's brilliant. It's just amazing to see it, But that's where I personally see British freestyle. It's everyone brings their own bag, and also because they're not off the brisket from the titty.
How far is
that
the flight?
analogy, man.
How far is the flight from Texas to the UK?
What's that? Sorry.
How long is the flight from Texas? To
the flight. On the way here, it's 10. On the way back, there's normally a bit of tailwind, and about 9.
Yeah, you think we can get a brisket on there, man? Fuck, we'll fly over there and cook a CBA.
Yeah, that would be
I believe that's my wife's region, out of state. Yeah, I think so.
Send me with 3 drums, I'll show up.
You could probably get one back in a Yeti. I don't know. It might be pushing it, but if they let you, you could take one off a pit, chuck it in a Yeti, and then I know that's been done from Britain to Saudi Arabia from a guy who's got like a smokehouse in. That's Bill's friend, the Smokey Joe's in London Bridge. Yeah. So he had a rich guy from Saudi Arabia who had a private jet, and he cooked up everything, and they flew it to Saudi Arabia.
Damn.
That's
on another level.
That's Boss Hog level right there.
Yeah, he didn't even care about like putting that out as news, because he was just like, I just want barbecue, and I want it delivered, and it was only through conversation. When I had a chat with him, he was telling us, and I was like, wow, that's incredible, but
yeah, that's incredible.
But yeah, it's very mixed, and a lot of what Britain sees and has learned has been from YouTube. So you'll see, like, they've got there's certain like fan bases of certain pit masters, so they'll cook like them, and you see them fads, like, this is how you do it, this is the method. So a new method to come out, and I'm sure it is the same here as well. It's incense, isn't it, that someone comes out with a new method, it becomes quite popular, and everyone's talking about it, and that's when you start getting into spats. Well, I'll do it like this, well, I'll do it like that. And over there it's pretty much like that. People are like, okay, well, this is the way to do it. And as you guys know, there's many ways to skin a cat, and it's process and consistency is the secret, really, and obviously with your own magic. But that's where Britain is. And it's never going to be Texas, and I don't believe anywhere outside the state will be. And I don't mean that in a pejorative way. I mean it in a positive way.
Texas, and that's anywhere, man. Because everywhere that I've been, everybody does things differently. I mean, got stove over there in England. When I went to the Philippines, I had to cook on eucalyptus wood. Going to Hong Kong, they use a different wood.
Right.
Cooking in Sweden. Oh, when I was in Australia, they used, I don't know if I was telling y'all, but they use a wood called iron bark. and it's a dark ass wood. I mean, it's a real heavy and it's dark, but I mean, it's a clean smoke wood, but it's just different. You have to adapt to whatever they have out there, especially the beef. I mean, they don't have the beef that we have here in the States. So some of their cows, their briskets are really lean. They ain't got that fatty because you know they the grain that we give ours here, and you know it's just adapting, man, and trying to do the best you can out there. Sweden was the one for me, and you know when I went out there and cooked at the Sweden Norte Championships, you know I cooked pork just the way I would cook pork in the state, and Morgan, the guy I was cooking with, he's like, it needs more salt, and I'm like, dude, I'm gonna ruin it, and he's like, it needs more salt, and I dumped salt on it. Great, you know. Well, Sweden's like the Swedish people like salt because they salt their foods during the winter.
Bacon,
you know? Yeah. So, dude, I did pork with that pork. You know, it gave us a reserve grand champion. It was great, but you just have to learn how to
adapt and everything. Yeah, good.
Your way's always gonna win.
And I think you know with the woods, that's why I'm a big fan of the pellet at home. Because we, you know, it's the closest. Well, it is the, you know, especially with some of the brands out there, you can get the post oak, you can get the mesquite, and it gives you that beautiful blue smoke. And the way I personally, my favourite way of cooking is actually in a discarder. So I just want to give it a kiss of smoke of whatever I'm cooking, or flash it off over live fire. So it's perfect for me. Over here, it's a religion. You know, people can't even fathom that post oak grows in carpet. I'm looking at a post oak now. There's one there, you know, at home. We've got oak, but it's English oak. It's different. It's grown in different. It's grown up in different. Sort of the air tastes different. The soil's different. That's probably got rattlesnake piss all over it. You know, we've just got someone's dog's piss over it. You know, so it's like. It's just worlds away, but I think that's what makes it great as well, though, that when you come here, it is special. And I always say to people, look, you've got Texas-style barbecue, and you're calling it Texas-style barbecue, and it's great, and what you're doing, and it's in the style, and that's what it is. It's in the style of Texas, but it's still not Texas. And that's vice versa as well when you go around the world, you know, and it's a Portugal, you know, I've been to Portugal many times. They're great open fire cooks, but they never shout about it because their nan does it, you know, and it's like that's a daily cook for them over fire, and it gives a completely different taste with the woods over there. But you only get that in Portugal because that's where it is, you know. And it's just enjoying these different nuances where you are, and we're all the same, and you join up with people. You know what? You're like me. You like a beer, and you like fire cooking. We've got different techniques, and we are different, and that's what makes it, I think, beautiful and work.
Absolutely,
man.
I think some people don't realize too how big Texas is. Like, I don't know if y'all have ever seen the overlay map of Texas over Europe.
Oh yeah,
and how many countries it encompasses. And honestly, in Texas, I think the further south you go, you want to use more mesquite.
Yeah, mesquite.
You know. You go more toward Houston, you want to back off the smoke a little bit. You want to go toward Dallas, you want to use a little bit more pecan and hickory and shit like that.
Yeah, a little regional, yeah.
Yes, I think it's like that. I really do.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and you notice it as well. You know, you notice it, and like a lot of my Mexican cooking, I'll use mesquite. You know, if I'm flashing anything that with smoke, because they got mesquite down there. They use a lot of mesquite. I think it's just trying to stay true as much as you can with what you've got and what's available to you. And like you say, you know, I have people say to me, "Oh, you know, pellet smoking is cheating." And I'm like, "Well, yeah, it is. It certainly is." And I would not take off, you know, because I obviously stick burn as well with different woods and stuff like that at home. But I want the results for where I am, and they're the best results for where I am. Right. If I was here, I wouldn't use I would use a pellet, but in a different way. It would be for when I can't be asked to stay up all night or all day smoking, and you know, something in, because there's certain ways, as you guys know, when you're cooking, sometimes you want to go for that best result and what process will help you in that cook, and the pellet does that me at home, certainly. And it would do that if I was out here. But then when you want to be going the true way, then stick burning. You're never going to, in my opinion, you're not going to beat it. And it's that tradition, of and it means a lot more as well. And that's where the skill comes in. When someone's on a pit and producing that free smoke and getting them results, it's incredible. And that's what I don't. A lot of guys in the UK get yet. They're up and coming in smoking, and they're hell bent on at the moment Texas style because it's new to them. But they'll realise that actually, look, this is what we've got. Let's do it our way with Texas influence, and that would reverse back here in you get something different in your mouth, which is always a good thing.
Right. Yeah.
Quote Willie T on that. He loves different things.
Yeah. I think in our region like that, like mine, especially because I'm not Texas, right? But that's where I predominantly cook, right? So these fuckers that I hang out with on the podcast, they think I throw a fucking also bean burrito and some hash chili on my fucking fire and it's all good, but it ain't like that. But I'm cooking from my region, But I mean, I gotta adapt to the Texas side of things.
Yeah, well, that's it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No, but it's exactly the same in different states, isn't it? No, it's just different.
Hey, Wes, I'm sorry, Wes. My shorts are wet.
Pants on. That's the oldest trick in the book.
He does
I gotta give my boy Daniel a shout out. He turned 52 on Sunday.
Yeah.
Danielson!
No way. 52?
52?
No, he's
you got 5 years to go. Come on, big boy.
Kyle's
fucking. I just hit 57 about a month ago.
What?
Damn.
Sam was damn.
Nah, he sure was walking like that over there.
Sam, you could be one of my fucking kids.
So Willie is a Houston's livestock show and rodeo ready for some Smokey Rebel?
Yeah. This year, I don't know who we'll be cooking with this year. Last year, I had the honor to cook with Pony Express Cookers. From what I understand, they want us to cook with them again. Me and Jaime Garcia joined up together and cooked that one. But I also love, cooking with the international teams, helping them out. So I'm going to see if Memo from Monterrey is going to be coming in. And if he is, then I'll probably go help him. Of course, Canada, I cook with Team Canada because Greg Audrey cooked with them. And, he passed away on his way to Memphis in May. He actually at one of the KCB judges' houses. And he didn't wake up, and we ended up cooking San Antonio in his honor. But yeah, man, Smokey Rebel. I actually got a lot of things lined up with them. We're doing a lot of demos and some little markets, like he said. Sometimes it's just best to put it in front of people's faces that hasn't had it. We tried a new method because we're like, man, how can we get this on into the people's hands without having to cook a lot of meat all the time. So what we started doing, D? We started doing Texas firecrackers with the rubs, and just you can get all the flavors out of that cracker.
Yeah, something easy.
That way, you can give it to people because usually people are gonna buy it if they taste it. It's hard to try to sell something that they don't know what they're trying. So we got some things lined up in Houston. But yeah, man, this year with the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, I mean, I love doing it, man. I've been doing it for years. Going on 20 years already doing the Livestock Show and Rodeo. I started off with Victor and George, and helped Robert Smith whenever he was doing the Miller Lite tent, and then just doing with the international, cooking with Monterrey and with Sweden and Canada and all these places that I've been, just trying to give everybody a hand. But yeah, we got big things coming up, man, and hopefully this new chapter of my life, because I got laid off of work, and I don't know what I was going to do, but this is an opportunity, man. Sometimes door closes and another one opens, and right now this is the time where we need to get this up and going so we can start processing it, so we can get it on the market around October. That way we can get it in time in the people's hands for the holiday season. Because if we miss that window, then we're not doing anything until Easter. So that's busting our ass right now. All this driving around the state, getting everything lined up so we can make the impact that we want to make. Yeah.
So Willie, you're talking about tasting. So we've run into that too, doing markets and stuff like that. There was one market that we would do consistently. We always set out ramekins of each flavor, and we had I call them Baskin Robbins spoons, only they're not pink. My wife found them on Amazon. So we'll have a little jar of them. I tell people, hey, use as many as you like, just don't double dip. So there was one weekend, I was like, all right, I'm going to take the Blackstone, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to cook a little pork. I'm going to cook a little chicken, a little beef, da, da, da. Dude, we sold the same amount of fucking bottles we always sell when we don't cook. I'm like, I'm not doing that shit again. We just go back to what we were doing. And they did a barbecue, and I have little candy pieces out there, so they can, like mints or whatever, and it seems to work, man. I mean,
yeah, and I did a barbecue class for Centerpoint, and I used the rubs, and that's an easy sell right there because everybody wants to buy them after the class. So man, I sold everything we had just in that one class for Centerpoint Energy. So. Yeah, I know that getting it, into the people so they can taste it, they're gonna buy it. They want something different.
Why? It's one of those things, isn't it? You got to think like people out there. If someone's trying to say, "Look, this is nice," and you haven't tried it, it's not that you don't believe the person. It's that one little convenience in it. And I mean, for us, when we're back in the UK and here as well, we like to put on a bit of a show with a live fire and so the meat side of it is always a bit of a thing. But I'm actually a really big chicken fan, and I'll I'm not ashamed to say it. I'll take chicken over brisket. I know I'll probably get shot for that, but for me, chicken's chicken. No matter where you go in the world, that chicken's chicken, and it tastes like, apart from the corn-fed ones or like high end ones, and with the rubs, as you guys all know, and certainly Donnie, right? If you're turning chicken around, you're winning because chicken is just chicken, a great chicken. If it's done right and cooked right, you can't beat it personally. And as much as I love brisket, I think the brisket you can get a bit, like if you stack a whole chicken in there, I eat the whole chicken, the whole brisket, or lots of brisket. There's that point you get to where you're like, you know what? I'm going to have to stop eating this brisket. I'm getting the meat sweats, which I can keep going through. And I think that's again, it's subjective, right? Isn't it? It's subjective. Everything we are out. We're done with brisket at the moment, aren't we?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, the shit that I cook at home ain't the same that I cook on the weekends.
No.
Not even fucking close.
My favorite way of cooking is on a discarder.
Hey, what y'all down food? Like after a competition, what do y'all go get to eat?
Fucking Whataburger.
Taco Bell.
I
like to feel like a white Mexican from time to time.
Actually, it's Whataburger on Saturday night, and we hit Mexican on Sunday morning on the way home.
I'm looking for a Mexican food place or pizza.
Man, I have to have my peanut butter and jelly, man.
Oh yeah, definitely, bro. That's an every night snack for me, bro. But yeah, that Taco Bell. When I take a couple of bites out of that after a cook off, feel like my fucking credit score shoots up to a 750 or something.
Taco Bell, motherfucker, you might as well go get that Austin's burrito shit.
Well, that's everyday lunch. We talking about
everyday lunch. So Russ asked me today. He's like, Willie, what's your favorite meal? I was like, dude, I'll drive to Burger King and get me a Whopper. I'll drive to McDonald's, get me some fries. I go to
Eric,
Sonic
shut
and
the
get me
fuck
a cherry limeade, and then I go to Whataburger to get the spicy ketchup. That's my perfect meal right there.
Fucking Eric.
Shit.
Eric at Trader's Village, this motherfucker, he always brings a keg. This motherfucker's
Holy
going
fuck.
around Trader's Village with a keg on a fucking dolly. And he's dragging this bitch campsite to campsite to campsite. Need a beer? Need a beer?
Damn, slinging, huh? Yeah, I like Bill Miller's too, man. I like that damn. What is it? The hell is it? They got that carne guisada, whatever it is, burrito, whatever the taco, whatever the taco. Yeah, it's good, man.
Isn't it crazy how parts of Texas call shit a taco, and the other part of Texas it's fucking burrito? No,
Yeah,
it's
West
not
Texas
burritos,
is
motherfucker.
burritos.
It ain't big enough.
South Texas is tacos. Yeah.
Yep.
Fucking burritos
took
like
him to go
this,
to
not like
tacos
fucking
in
fold
California.
over tortilla with shit in it, bitch.
Hey, Russ, I got a question for you, man.
Yeah.
Hey, what kind of bullshit ass holidays do you guys celebrate over there if you don't celebrate the 4th of July with the best country in the world?
We celebrate Treason Day.
Treason
Day.
I had to call you out on that one, buddy.
No, but honestly,
No.
happy 4th of July.
Oh,
And if there's anyone British here, don't record this, but I
No.
would have been on your side, so don't worry about that. I would have been a patriot.
Hmm.
I think it would have worked better for me. Yeah,
Just don't take Willie. Don't take Willie next to the king because he might make him blush.
Oh man.
Yeah, no, actually, like a lot of the British guys now, they I wouldn't say they celebrate 4th of July, but they enjoy all of that side of it. And I see a lot of guys in Britain wishing everyone a happy 4th of July and stuff like that. We're not taught it in schools, really. No one really talks about it in schools, or the War of 1812. No one talks about that. So, yeah.
So we took Russ to a fireworks stand, and he asked for an Iran buster.
Ah, dang. Oh man.
Damn.
No kill on that one. That's crazy.
Oh Lord.
You were talking about a lot of chicken a while ago. Sam only cooks choked ones.
Dang.
Oh shit. Talking about shots fired.
Well, I'll do a lot of land.
At 500
Actually,
degrees.
we haven't-
It's been working though. I've been walking the chicken, so
You have been. You have been.
Yeah, yeah.
I think you're throwing some of that grass seed on there, some shit. I don't know.
can't tell.
And when's your next one?
It's this weekend with Sam at Plainview. Yeah.
Okay.
Big old
Yeah, we do.
Plainview, Texas.
Sir,
Yes,
you
it
just
is.
too busy with the truck instead of cooking now or what?
Man, I don't even know what I'm doing tomorrow, honestly. I couldn't even tell you, dude. Couldn't even tell you.
Man. If
Still
I could
having
have
issues.
Serge come on in and just do like go ahead and sauce my chicken and then box it, I'd be happy, man.
Come in my boxes.
Short rib in the
Short
house.
rib in the house.
No.
Kyle, what's up?
Hey, real quick, we
I was
saw
like,
that y'all are
fuck, I don't
donating
even
or
cook
raffling a
anymore.
drum short rib. Thank y'all for all y'all's help sending down there.
That's awesome, brother. Yeah. Great
That's great.
folks, man.
I was
Awesome.
like, I just keep buying pits. I don't even fucking cook no more.
Pits and Lambos.
Lambo. Yeah, he's cooking on a Lambo now.
No, I think his next one's in El Paso, ain't it, Kyle?
Yeah, the famous Dave's at the end of the month.
Yeah, yeah.
You want to roll down there and cook with me or what?
Shit.
Hell no. Motherfucker, that's like damn near 600 miles from here. Fuck that.
Man, you gotta stop being a bitch, bro. Come on.
Hell no. I'm retired, not a retard.
You gonna take that new trailer down there, Kyle? Run that pit maker?
Nah, fuck no. We'll just throw
Keep
a couple.
running drums.
No, I'd probably just hold the Jambo down there.
All right on.
We should hold it all.
Yeah.
Jambo on a drum.
Probably. I think my wife sent me the deal the other day. I think I got to cook ribs and chicken wings or some shit.
Bro, I'm telling you, I love my shorty.
Throw
Damn, I
some.
love my shorty.
I
We're
got
doing
200
birds, wings, dude.
Dude, chicken wings, dude, on a fucking on an offset on my Jambo are probably my favorite thing to cook at the fucking house.
Oh, really?
Damn it.
Yeah.
I like them on my pellet grill.
Russ said, "Fuck y'all, I got pee." Oh, you're getting another beer.
I'm getting a refill, bro.
Damn,
I'm
so
the
you
one
don't
gotta
know.
pee. My balls are all busted almost. Shit.
You're getting colder.
You're getting colder.
You're getting colder.
Damn.
Damn, I started.
Donnie got that daddy drink over there, right?
Y'all waiting on.
There you go. You're gonna go check on the dead body.
Yeah.
There he is.
It's
There he
like,
is.
did I really fucking set this show up?
So when you head back, Russ, you're done for Texas, or getting pretty close?
Yeah,
You're
so I
doing a
head
tour?
back on.
It's froze.
Freezing up.
I'm back.
There you go. You're back.
I head on. I head out on the 11th. I land.
Oh, did he freeze up again?
Yeah, I think so.
Mhm.
Because I can't ever tell if
We're
it's
back
me.
again. Sorry, we keep.
Oh, froze again.
So I fly. And then
Fucking
I've
Dos
got to
Equis,
cook
man.
for-
Take that old
Yeah.
can and stick it on top of the phone.
There you go.
It's working now.
There you go. Oh, shit.
Yeah, froze again.
Yeah, no, my internet's been shitty too. I don't know what's going on.
Odessa,
We
bro.
live in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
So mine's not. I should have actually got 5G today.
There he is. You're back.
We're back.
There you go.
Three,
She ain't
two,
on dial-up,
We're
like
back.
Anthony.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. I think it's hotel Wi-Fi. Everyone's
Probably.
on Pornhub time. Yeah, here at the Hilton. But yeah, we're on the 11th. I land on the Saturday, so that's the Friday. Land on the Saturday. Then on the Tuesday, I've got a cook for the House of Commons. So, and they're doing a big cook for all of the chefs. That, I'm not a chef, but they've asked me to cook for these guys, and they're all like Michelin star winners. So, gonna
Damn.
do, yeah, I'm a little, you know, my bum's going like that a bit, but you know, you've got to see what they think. But I'm gonna smoke some lamb, and I'm gonna do like a barbacoa.
Nice.
Because lamb's really good for us to smoke because we can get hold of lamb, and it's got a nice fatty content. So it'll be nice in a barbacoa, and a couple of other things. You know, they wanted the you know pork and just a little selection of everything. But yeah, so that's going to be scary, but fun at the same time. But it means landing in and seeing the family for one day. As you all guys all know, you know, like when you're working, although it is fun and we have a great time, it's the sacrifice that everyone makes, and you know, you do think sometimes, is this worth it? You know, are we getting somewhere? And it's not for the money. We all need money to survive, right? But we want to build this life for everyone, like even with Willie T. You know, like for me, it's. I wanted to work for the guys that got involved, and my box runner Ryan, and everyone else, my brother-in-law, and that's what keeps me up.
Right on.
the anxiety. You know, you're like, am I doing the right thing? Am I just taking everyone down the garden path? So let's see what garden path I'll go down with the House of Commons on Tuesday. So.
Man, well, good luck with that, brother. Yes, sir.
Say good luck.
To blow their minds with some
cheers.
barbacoa.
Heck yeah.
So we're going to get a lot of baby faces with the corn. Mind you, a lot of these are chefs. So
Cilantro and onions. Throw it on there.
Yeah.
Right, man. Blow their minds, not their assholes, man.
Yeah.
That's what Donnie does.
Oh man. Well, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. And Donnie, what's up next? What's next with Twisted D?
Oh, well, I have to DJ this upcoming weekend, so no cooking. I will be in Temple the weekend after that.
Right on.
Actually, it's funny because the wedding I'm DJing is in Temple. And then the following weekend, I'll be in Temple cooking.
Just stay there, bro. Camp out for the week.
I thought about it, but it's like I got all my DJ shit one weekend and all my cooking shit the next weekend. So it's
You're
like,
right. Yeah.
that ain't gonna work out.
Kind of hard,
Logistic wise, it wouldn't work out. So
Right.
Well, cool, man.
Shoot,
Well, tell us how can we get a hold of y'all's products, Smokey and Twisted D?
Go ahead, Russ.
At the moment, we're in Short's Pit Room, and that's it really at the moment until we launch like officially before we go out. So that's at Short's Pit Room. Again, for me, and talking about awards and stuff like that, that's the biggest award for me. Not only having these guys backing me and believing in me, to have the Short's Pit Room third generation guys that are just like, we believe in you, Russ. Is my award. I haven't actually taken their hat off, have I? But I've got this one at the moment because I fell in love with Trey when I went round there, which I secretly loved him for a long time and been following him. I have a very long time.
You've been stalking him.
Yeah, and I've been stalking him way back when he had his trailer, and to see him with his success, and then finally meet him, eat the food, and talk to him firsthand, and just I had my pit vipers on. It was it was a moment. He didn't realise that, thank God, but he still thinks that I was fine. But and I thought, well, that's my award. That's my award. And that's the only awards I want personally. Is just people believing in each other. The Short's Pit Room at the moment. Until we're.
And then you can follow us on Smokey Rebel on Instagram or on Facebook. We do have the Smokey Rebel site going on in the UK. We will open the North America website in October once we do the launch. But on any social media platform, you can reach us.
It's an American company as well. It's a Texas company because that's very important to us. That hopefully that will obviously support Americans, and that reach across the Atlantic, paying American taxes. Hopefully pay for some of them bombs.
Oh yeah.
And that's very important to me. And I'd just like to finish on that and say thanks, Texas, and everyone that we've met, and including you guys, everyone here, so welcoming. I believe in all you guys in here, and I wish everyone that success. And there's enough room for everyone. And
absolutely, man.
Yeah, well said. Well said.
Oh, and I did tell you, sirs, that once we get the product, I'll ship y'all all some.
Yes.
That way y'all can try it.
We'll send everyone
Yeah,
here.
Awesome. Yeah.
Over, and you can get on your website and sell it.
That is awesome.
Donnie?
I'm a spice horse, so I got spices all over the place. So I mean, even though I make them, it's like people go like, "You make your own shit and you still buy it?" I'm like, "Yeah." I mean,
Yeah.
that's the way it is. On ours, you can go to our Facebook page, Twisted D Cookers Facebook page. We have a store on there, a store link, and if you're in South Texas, you can find it at South Texas Hardware in Lytle and Somerset. Hoping to be in there Castroville store eventually, but they're starting to build up their barbecue department, and so we're in there. And other than that, just Facebook, man. We're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. But TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram suck because I'm more better at Facebook. So
Yeah,
I need to
time.
get better. I need to get better at Instagram and all the other shit I know. But yeah, I'm an old fucker, so it takes me.
AKA a spice
Oh,
puta. There you go.
Spice.
Right on.
Oh man,
It's awesome.
it's hard work that.
Yeah, for sure. I'm having trouble keeping up with everything these days. So,
Dude, it's crazy.
I've actually got to the point where I see these influencer girls, you know, like when they're shaking their butt with one camera and then it goes to another one underneath, and I think, wow, man, she's put a lot of effort into that. I get it. I get it.
you put a lot of effort into it.
Honestly, I swear to you, I was like, that is some good camera work there that she's done. And I realised how much that was to clip it, you know, and I sort of give her kudos. And I think, yeah, good. You're earning your bucks.
Oh, for sure, man.
So so with that being said, we're gonna do an OnlyFans rubbing the rub on.
Hey, I'm also married.
A Willie T. Russ channel.
Yeah, Willie T.
Sprinkle the rub. Sprinkle the rub.
Nice.
Reminds
We'll
me
have
of
to hook up with Grant. We'll have to hook up with Grant and get some of that sweet sauce.
Drizzle, baby, drizzle.
Makes me think of the South Park episode of the OnlyFans. If you haven't seen it, look it up.
Oh
Oh,
my
yeah.
god, yeah, that's brilliant. That is brilliant.
Dude, did you see that video that Caleb did when he was putting all the barbecue sauce on himself in this restaurant?
Sam said, what was that? Sam said, what was that address?
Oh man. Well, cool, man. We're pushing 2 hours, so I know everybody's got to go. But
I told you it was gonna be long.
yeah, for sure, man. Anyone want to give any thoughts and prayers? I mean, let's Donnie, you're down there, so let the people know. You know,
Dude, it has been crazy for a few days. Luckily, where we're at, we just got wet, super wet. Where Kerrville is an hour away from us. Where the Guadalupe feeds into the lake where we're at is about 5 miles from us. So luckily we weren't affected, but there are a lot of lives that were. And, you know, just keep them in your prayers, man. And again, like we said at the top of the show, Texas Firewalkers, Gulf Coast Smoke, Bill Purvis with Chicken Fried Barbecue, donating all of his money for the month. All that stuff helps, man. All that stuff helps. And we've had, there's a food truck around here too that's gone over there, and they've been serving meals too, with donations and things of that nature. So yeah, just keep them in your prayers, man. Being a dad of 6 freaking kids, I cannot imagine some of the news that some of them parents are getting. I would be devastated, you know. So anyway, but yeah, so shout outs to Bear Mountain Barbecue. That's my wood sponsor. They make great wood products. My Dad's Barbecue was my first sponsor ever, and he's still with me today. Does barbecue sauce. And Gulf Coast Smoke.
Yep.
Even though I'm back to using my own stuff, well, not back. Even though now I'm using my own stuff, I still have a lot of Gulf Coast shit in my house.
Yeah.
And I always burn my fires with that Texas original, baby.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah.
Willie?
I just want to say, want to give a shout out to Pee Wee with Texas Firewalkers. Also, I got in contact with him. OBR, Operation Barbecue Relief, is out there with them now. Joey Machado, we talked to Joey just a couple days ago, and he was taking wood out there, charcoal for them. So man, donate whatever you can. I know from personal experience with helping Operation Barbecue Relief, $24 feeds 4 families. So every little amount, man, it's helpful for them. So my heart goes out to the families too. I've been fortunate to help Operation Barbecue Relief and a lot of disaster reliefs, and I know what it does to just provide a hot meal to somebody that just lost everything, man. It sucks. It does. Even there in Harvey, my house was flooded, and I was out there helping feed Houston. We did 370,000 meals in 2 weeks. So kudos to all those guys. As a matter of fact, when I drop his ass at the airport on Friday, I'm headed to Kerrville to go help out and volunteer. So
yeah, well, what a superpower to have to do that. And I was saying to him, Shanick, if I was here longer, I'd be with him. And I said, I'll go and do the kitchen, and my heart honestly does. I've got 6 kids that are 21. They range from 5 to 26. I had a tragedy in between that, and that's why I've ended up with more, and I've lost a baby. So I seeing that and what people are going through, it's that's just a life changing thing for everyone. And unfortunately, and very selfishly, I'll take that sadness with me on a very small scale, very, very, very small scale, like to what people have gone through. But this trip that's what I'm going to remember. We got the tail end of it. We were safe, really, but to experience that as an Englishman and to see that devastation, I'll certainly be bringing that story back to people.
My daughter, my 13-year-old daughter was at a camp in Comfort 3 weeks ago.
Wow.
Man.
Yeah.
And we were going to book a room. We were going to book one of those cabins right on the Guadalupe before we got where the hotel we got over there. But we stayed with Bill, but we were going to book on one of those cabins. Man. It's weird.
Well, we just missed it as well. So.
Mm-hmm.
There was a chick that just lost her dad like 2 weeks ago. She was a student of my wife's, and then she ended up working for my wife after she graduated college. Her and her husband were camping in that HTR campground that got wiped out. They got out. They lost everything, but they got out. So from the time they got from the trailer to the truck, so when they got out of the trailer, the water was at their ankles. When they got to the truck, it was halfway up there. It was like knees.
Damn.
That quick of fucking time.
Yeah.
And they were like having to force the door open to get in and get the fuck out.
Oh, that's crazy. That's hard to imagine, dude. Like, it's easy to think like, okay, well, what you would do, but if you're actually going through it and that shit's coming up that fast, you know what I mean? And like those kids, like, dude, what do they do? You know what I'm saying? What would an adult do? You know what I'm saying? It's fucking. It's hard to imagine, dude, and it sucks. But
I don't think you can imagine it.
Just think about those people. I mean, because that storm came up from Mexico, so it hit Mexico. So just imagine the station Mexico got before the storm came this way. And Mexico is third in the world.
What hit here was 2 hurricanes coming up each side of Mexico.
Yeah.
One on the fucking Pacific side and one on the Gulf side, and it just freaking dumped.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy, dude. Crazy.
And it's just that low. It's that low in the Gulf still right now that's keeping it right where it's at, right? So it's just training. That's all it's doing. I mean, we had that problem in Houston during Harvey. It just trained, and that's why it got so bad and flooded over there.
Yep.
Yeah. No, sure.
Well, cool, guys. We'll let everybody. I mean, we're fucking pushing 2 hours. I think it's the longest show yet, right? Hour and 59 minutes.
Hey, we had a couple more guests than you.
Hell yeah. Well, cool, man. Well, Russ, Willie, Donnie, man, we appreciate y'all coming on for sure.
Man, we appreciate
Thank y'all.
Thanks for having us, man.
Yeah.
No, I appreciate y'all, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sam,
Y'all
don't
wanna-
be choking no more than chicken.
Oh no, I'm done.
Oh man, we're gonna sign off and we'll do it again next week, guys. Appreciate
Yes,
it.
sir.
Thanks,
Hey,
fellas.
appreciate y'all, fellas.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
This is Parrish Randall, and this concludes this episode of Beyond the Smoke. Thanks for stopping by, friend. We hope to see you again real soon. Until next time, happy trails. Until we talk meat again.